Micro and macro skill of speaking. Micro skills of speaking pronounce the distinctive sounds of language clearly enough so the people can distinguish them. This includes make tonal distinctions, use stress and rhythmic patterns, and intonation patterns of the language clearly enough so the people can understand what is said. Use the correct forms of words. This may mean, for example, change in the tense, case, or gender. Put words together in correct word order. Use vocabulary appropriately. Use the register or language variety that is appropriate to the situation and the relationship to the conversation partner. Make clear to the listener the main sentence constituents such as subject, verb, object, by whatever mean the language used. Make the main ideas stand out from supporting ideas or information. Make the discourse hang together so the people can follow what you are saying. Okay, and then the next is micro skills of speaking. Okay, appropriately accomplished communicative function according to situation, participants, and goals. Use appropriate styles, registers, implicatures, redundancies, pragmatic conversation rules, floor keeping and yielding, interrupting, and other sociolinguistic features in face-to-face conversation. Again, the second skills is reading. Okay, we have types of reading. The first type is perceptive. In perceptive reading, the types of reading tends to be short and includes attending to the component of larger stage of discourse as letters, word, pronunciation, marks, and the other. And then the second type is selective. Selective reading is a type of reading that focuses on vocabulary and grammar. Okay, and the third type is interactive. In interactive reading, the reading text focuses on the main idea and emphasize the meaning aspect. Okay, and the next types of reading assessing is extensive. In extensive reading, the reading text tends to be longer. Okay, and the next is designing assessment test. In the designing assessment test, we have first perspective reading. In assessing basic abilities can be done in various ways, include A. Reading load. The test takers are asked to read loud so that the test takers can understand the meaning of the reading by listening to what they read. Okay, next we can write a response. Test takers are asked to rewrite that they understand from what they have read. Okay, and the next, multiple choice. The test taker is asked to answer multiple choice question related to the reading. Okay, and the next, picture code items. In this type of the text of the test taker is shown a picture, then on the test paper there are several words related to the picture. Then the test taker is given question or instruction related to the picture. Okay, and the next assessing is listening. Assessing listening, observing the performance of the four skills. The importance of listening. Listening plays an important role in developing language skill because listening is the main factor in communicating, because we listen first and then the results of what we listen to toward what we will revolve. Therefore, it can be said that a good speaker is also a good listener. Basic types of listening. The first is intensive. Test the smallest parts of language, such as phonemes, word, intonation, and then discourse markers, and the other. And the second, responsive. Respond appropriately to what has been heard here. In this case, the test taker is expected to be able to master of what question in order to be able to answer the question correctly. For example, when the test taker hears a question using the word why, then the test taker will answer the question by giving a reason, usually marked with the word because. The third is selective. The test taker is able to choose the most appropriate answer based on the specific information that has been here. And then the next is extensive. In extensive listening, a broader and more general understanding is needed. Usually includes the essence or main idea of what is heard here. Okay, the next skills is writing. We go to writing assessing. The first is imitative. Students get basic knowledge in writing. Basic tests in writing letters, word, pronunciation marks, and short sentence. The result of writing is the first thing that is assessing, and meaning and context are the second assessment. Okay, the next is intensive or controlled. In a sentence context, students create vocabulary, proverbs, and grammatical features and the appropriate in it. And then the next is responsive. The text you use is usually in the form of reports, stories, summaries, descriptions, and explanation of a graph or diagram. Maybe students have understood grammar and are more focused on the accuracy of language according to their habits. The assessment focus more on the meaning and the context of the writing. Okay, and then the next is extensive. Students have understood the elements of writing well. We have micro and macro ability in writing. Micro capabilities. The first is making signs or symbol and spelling shapes in English. And then the next is write speed and switch the purpose of writing. And then the next, make word heads and use the correct word order. And then we have a macro capability. In the macro capability, we can using rhetorical words and according to habits in writing. And then the next micro capabilities is achieve the communication function in written language based on the form of writing and the purpose of writing. Next, develop and use energy in writing strategies such as assessing the reader's understanding, doing activities before writing well in the first outline, and so on. And the last assessing is grammar assessing. The following are some of the most common types of objective items used to test awareness of the grammatical features of the language. multiple choice items, completion items, transformation items, and pairing and the matching items. It should always be remembered that such items as the above test the ability to recognize or produce correct form of language rather than the ability to use language to express meaning, attitude, emotion, and the other. The first, we have multiple choice grammar items. The type of multiple choice items forwarded by many construction of grammar tests is the incomplete statement types with the choice of 4 or 5 options. And then second, completion items. Carefully construction completion items are usually means testing a student's ability to produce acceptable and appropriate forms of language. They are frequently preferable to multiple choice items sites. They measure production rather than recognition, testing the ability to insert the most appropriate words in selected blanks in sentence. The word selection for omission, the grammatical or function word. It is the one objective item types which come closest to measure some skill tests in competition writing. Although transforming sentence is different from production sentence. And the next, pairing and matching items. These types of item usually consist of a short conversation stimulus in the form of the statement or question followed by a response, often the form of a statement. The item is more useful for testing students' sensitivity to appropriacy and their awareness of the function of language rather than their knowledge of grammar. Although grammatical clues may prove improve important in completing this item satisfactory. Okay, this is 5 material about 5 assessing. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum.